Thanks, Brad, and thanks to all of you for joining this webinar to learn more about pipeline. I really like this slide a lot because it really illustrates where pipeline fits as a critical information source in this industry. On one hand, we have the service provider community globally who's trying to deliver the most advanced communications, information, and technology services worldwide. On the other hand, we have the technology innovators who are developing the technology to help them do that. And marketing these products to help them solve many of their current issues. Pipeline sits in the middle as both a platform and a conduit to provide operators with actual information they can use to make technology decisions. And that's not just from reading Pipeline, but is from actively participating with Pipeline, both from a strategic and a services perspective. What I mean by that is that many of the operators that read Pipeline also participate on our industry advisory board. We'll get into that in a little bit here, but what that industry advisory board does is provide input on our editorial calendar. Pipeline publishes 12 issues per year, each around a specific industry or technology trend, one that's been identified by our industry advisory board as important to them in terms of the technology decisions they'll be making in the next 12 to 24 months. You can see we've been doing this for well over a decade now, and we expand the entire communications technology industry, including OSS, BSS, ICT, and something we call ICE, which is Information, Communications, and Entertainment Services. The Industry Advisory Board is just one component of Pipeline's distribution and our total market reach. Of course, it's a really important one as it represents hundreds of relationships. These are direct executive to executive relationships with over 50 of the top service providers globally. But if we look at our total reach, Pipeline has over 250,000 in annual distributions per year, and a marketing database of over 100,000 opt-in contacts that we can use to promote our content and services. And a very important segment within our total global reach is our hot list. The hot list is very unique. This is not just an opt-in list of people who want to receive our content. In fact, we never make people tell us who they are to read our content. The only time people tell us who they are and provide their direct contact information is when they want information from our clients. And what that means is our hot list, which is a list that we maintain, is a list of operators that provide that want to know about the latest developments in the industry. When we look at the demographics within that list, it spans the entire procurement chain. With roughly 30% in engineering, managerial, and C-level. When we look at the operators on that list, we see that spans every major operator worldwide. So when you think about everybody at every major operator worldwide, not only opting in to read Pipeline's content, but also to receive information from companies like yours, that hot list is a very unique list that you have the opportunity to leverage to promote your brand, generate leads, distribute content, and of course, generate thought leadership around your company, products, and executives. Just some rough metrics here. Pipeline's read in over 150 countries. We have active service provider involvement. And what that means is that the Industry Advisory Board, although they're providing information strategically to us, they're also participating in activities like our summits and our webinars. They also judge our innovation awards programs and often buy the products from the contestants of the awards program. So this direct relationship we have with this global operator community really serves our clients well in terms of the results that they achieve. And we'll talk about that towards the end of this presentation. So I wanted to provide a sample of some of the operators that participate on the Industry Advisory Board. We're going to take a closer look at that in the next couple of slides, but this one really kind of illustrates that our IAB is global. And when I say every major operator, these are just a few of the operators where we have that direct executive to executive relationship. The hot list, on the other hand, is going to be too large to show on one slide. So if you'd like a sample of some of the operators, which is illustrated here on the screen, contact sales@pipelinepub.com. We have this in a PDF form, so you can see the breadth of the list globally. This sample's been put together particularly to show operators on our hot list from every tier, every region, and across verticals such as cable, mobile, and fixed line. So you can really get a sense of the types of operators and the expanse of this list and how you might be able to leverage it to generate new opportunities within these operators. But let's drill into both these segments a little closer. Because while lists and database have their value, these direct relationships are which actually provides the best results for your marketing services. So this persona is Mike who's the CTO at Time Warner Cable. Many of you may know him, but we know him on a first name basis. He's a member of our industry advisory board, as illustrated by the icon on the screen. Similarly, you may know Ibrahim at Teles. Again, this is somebody who's actively involved with Pipeline in several capacities. And it's another one of the individuals you could potentially reach by leveraging Pipeline services. At AT&T, Mobeen, some of you may know, also participates actively in Pipeline as a hot list member who's asked to receive information from companies like yours. And you have Abby at AT&T as well, and a number of others. As you can see, they span multiple different roles and departments. Many of them focus in various areas, which you can tailor with your services to reach particular segments of our list. Network transformation, CIOs, CTOs, VPs, COOs, of course, many people in the IT group, and several that are really related to innovation within key operator companies like Shannon here. I won't go through every single one of these because, like I said, it's quite extensive, but this gives some context to those lists and those databases. These are actually people where we have that direct relationship that you can leverage to promote your company. And it's important to note, these span, multiple continents, different types of operators such as MSOs, MVNOs, your standard CSPs, offering mixed services, and even some utility companies that are also entering the foray of telecom services. What this all means is that you get guaranteed results. And by guaranteed, we mean that we provide a lead guarantee with every lead generation activity you do with us. You can expect no less than 200 leads, and the quality of the leads is going to be particular to your campaign. What you see here is an actual interactivity report from one of our clients. We've removed the sensitive client information from this report, but we've included some of the types of operators and the titles of those individuals that were interacting with this material, which was very particular to this specific customer's campaign. Even though we estimate no less than 200 leads with any service that you do with us that has lead generation as a component, this particular client generated over 400 leads from this campaign activity. You may also notice that these leads are broken up into buckets, and there are actually 3 buckets. We couldn't fit them all on the screen here, but the first bucket is sales qualified lead. What those leads are contacts that have the very highest level of interaction and interest in your company and your materials. We aggregate that data on our side, and then we provide it to you in a digestible format so you can hand those leads off directly to your sales team. The next bucket down is marketing qualified leads, which still have interest. They've interacted with your materials and have expressed interest in your products, but they're not at the highest levels. But these are great leads to put into your marketing automation programs to nurture over time or hand off to pre-sales to gauge or generate sales interest. And then there's a bucket, which you can't see on screen now, which is the other leads. These include leads that can be used for business development, partnerships, even recruiting purposes. But we have some notable readership outside of the operator community, although a small fraction. We're read by everyone from Harvard to NASA to Congress to Parliament and the FCC. So there is some significant exposure, and we don't censor that list. We provide you the contact information for everybody that interacts with your materials. So you can see how you can leverage pipeline services and the relationships we have with service providers globally to generate high quality leads that are easily digested into your organization to further business opportunities to fuel your marketing and sales programs. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Paula Zimmerman, Pipeline's Chief Strategy Officer, who's going to tell you a little bit more on how you can tailor your services and talk about some of our specific services that you can use to tap all of these segments and the things we've discussed previously.
So Scott talked about our audience segments, and the beauty of our services includes the ability to target the audience by choosing certain services. For example, in your desired audience, at the sharpest point of focus, we have Pipeline's Industry Advisory Board. And examples from the personas list are represented by this person icon. Services that best target this important group include webinars, our innovation awards, which are judged by operators on the IAB, our two-day executive summits, which include participation from the IAB, and industry reports, which are commissioned by the members of the advisory board, as well as surveys to poll them for their important opinions. When we look at the hot list, the service providers are represented by the flame icon, and services that best target the CSP hot list provide a channel or mechanism to influence and build mindshare among the leading operators around the world. Each of these services includes the direct distribution of branded content to the hot list. Sponsored content can include sponsored articles or commissioned articles or even sponsored reports and marketing collateral. Of course, webinars are promoted heavily to the hot list. Our Newswire service is a summary of industry news that's used to reach and influence the service providers on the hot list. And of course, e-blasts provide the ability to send a dedicated message to them. When we look at the global readership of Pipeline, represented by the globe icon, we're talking about readers from over 150 countries who can be reached and influenced through the pages of pipelinepub.com. And services here include what we're best known for, the feature-length articles that cover the current technology and trends that bring operators to Pipeline month after month as they seek reliable journalism and credible thought leadership. Services built around our content include advertising, articles, and special spotlights, our research center, which serves as a knowledge repository for critical content, and our social media services, which reach an audience of over 2.5 million. The marketing database is represented by the circle network icon, and that can be leveraged in conjunction with any of our services in order to expand the reach of any program or campaign and to ensure the most comprehensive distribution of your message. On this list, we also have promo packs, which are a bundle of communication services that combine e-blasts, social media, advertising, and in order to support any campaign, such as perhaps promoting your own user group seminars and your in-house webinars.
Thanks, Paula. So you can actually tailor your programs that you do with Pipeline to reach particular segments of our global audience, whether that's our marketing database or global readership, the hot list specifically. You can pick and choose the services that best focus on that list. And the next slide that Paula's going to present is going to talk more about that.
Our services are also aligned to your strategic marketing objectives. They can be used to achieve goals, such as the 4 areas that are listed across the top of the screen: to achieve brand building, demonstrate thought leadership, generate sales and marketing leads, and to syndicate your content to a highly relevant market. Looking at pipeline services as they relate to important marketing goals, we offer services that span many objectives and address many pain points for marketers. Our services have been deliberately designed with marketers' needs in mind and are architected to deliver results in these multiple areas. The icons appear again here on this diagram to depict the audience segments and relate the services to not only your marketing goals, but the target areas within the audience that you want to influence the most. On top of these highly effective services, we have introduced a program to use the services in dynamic ways and to maximize the benefit and the ROI that you can achieve. This is our membership program, which allows us to better serve our customers by allowing you to pick and choose the services that will meet your marketing objectives and focus on the audience segments that you want to reach. We then apply our highest rated discount and divide the investment over a 12-month period. In conjunction with this webinar, Pipeline is offering our unlimited annual membership program that allows you to use any and all of Pipeline services over the course of a year for less than $5,000 a month.
And it's a great program. Not only does it allow you to choose from our services that are tailored to your specific marketing objectives and the segments that you want to target with your services, it also provides a higher level service and some added benefits that aren't traditionally part of individual a la carte services you may buy over the course of the year. We cater to our member clients very well. And part of that is, it can be done through things like our monthly membership call with each member client. These provided elevated editorial visibility. It ensures that opportunities that we have within Pipeline, some of those free, some of those are paid services, that you're aware of those as they unfold: promotions, editorial alignments, contribution opportunities. And that we're aware of the developments that are happening within your organization. For example, press releases that are coming out, new product announcements, and we can look and strategize on best ways to leverage that through all of Pipeline's mechanisms.
Some of the companies who have taken advantage of these services and bolstered their marketing programs to win business from operators are shown here. We have a wide range of services that appeal to both the technology startup and the industry veterans, and companies of all shapes and sizes benefit. Success comes from marrying your needs with Pipeline's proven services in order to achieve the benefits that will fuel your sales team and elevate your organization.
And you can really see on this slide how customers large and small, some of the largest technology companies in the world, down to some of the very smallest, newest, most agile startups, all use Pipeline services to achieve their marketing objectives. But why do they choose Pipeline? Our clients turn to us and continue to turn to us to provide a tangible return on their marketing investment. What that means is we don't measure the success of our client services based on hits, clicks, or other metrics, even the quantity of leads that you may generate with us. We measure the success of our client campaigns based on the amount of revenue they are able to generate as a result of their services. They continue to use us for this reason and because of the quality of service they receive with Pipeline. What I mean by that is kind of twofold. On one hand, they experience excellence in service in terms of how we cater to our customers. But on the other hand, we also provide as much support to our clients as they desire to alleviate the burden of fulfilling services. You may have experienced elsewhere where you buy the service and then it's up to you to create all the materials and manage all the logistics for a service. With Pipeline, it's a bit different. We provide as much support as you desire, which includes logistic support, beginning to end, program management, and the creation of content and ancillary content required to deliver that service, which means you can just do your part, provide your expertise in order to generate the results that you desire. But pipelines are often surprised by some of the other results that they have obtained through their services. In addition to winning more deals, customers such as Telcordia, such as Metasolv, and some of the others you see here, Jacobs Ramel and a few others, have become acquisition targets. Telcordia, for example, used pipeline as part of their integrated campaign strategy prior to both acquisitions, the first by Warburg Pincus and the second by Ericsson. Some of you may know these companies and know that what they've done with pipeline in the past and know how that led to, or at least contributed to, where they are now. Others that you see here on the right-hand side of the screen, such as Kramer and Ontology, they won significant business as a result of their services. Kramer actually generated tens of millions of dollars off of a single advertisement that ran for 1 month in Pipeline magazine. Ontology, as a result of their participation in our awards program, won 3 Tier 1 carrier deals in Europe directly as a result of their participation. And there's some press releases online that you can find, or you can contact us to provide you with that information as well. But don't take it from us. We actually have the opportunity to hear from some examples from our customers on this call that have achieved similar results. And I'd like to introduce Mark Hayden, CEO of Jenny Technologies, to share some experiences that he's had with Jenny, as well as in past companies, to generate these kind of tangible results, including some revenue, as well as some information about how they've leveraged us related to specific services like our Executive Summit and other things over the years. Mark? I'd like to thank everyone once again, including those that are watching this webinar and those that presented on it. I hope it was informative, and if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to any of us listed here on this slide. And we look forward to working with each of you to help you achieve your specific sales and marketing objectives.